Let's do it together. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, number one, welcome in, my dear. I just had a very intense session. I think this one will be good as well. Let me kind of tell you a little bit. I mean, you know what I do, but let me kind of tell you how I do it. So, number one, normally I'm in my session room, but because we moved and I'm having that room redone, we're in my bedroom. My cat is back here. So if for some reason he becomes a little bit of a butthead, I'm going to have to put him out. But until then, I don't want him sitting at my room screaming. So we're going to keep him there. The next thing, though, is what we're doing, obviously, is we're channeling, right? We're bringing somebody's consciousness in. We're saying, I love you so much. I want you to come in here and be a part of this with me. So when they show up, which they're already here, they've been here. I can hear this person's voice in my head, which is funny. And it now makes sense as to who it was. Whenever they're coming in, what they do is they talk to me in 4 different ways. This person is fun. They give me a bunch of signs and symbols. They give me a bunch of feelings and emotions. They put me in different situations or scenarios that make me relive or refeel or re-experience something that may have happened to you or them. And the last one is words and phrases. So there is, they're going like this. Like they're mocking me in a funny way. They're like kind of mocking me. And they're like, oh, this is what you do. This is what you do. And he's talking about how, like, I never thought that I'd be here doing this. What are you talking about? And now I am. Look at me. Ooh, like that's how this person feels. I'm gonna laugh so hard. Hold on. Damn right, I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss it for the world. That's what this person says. So ready for it. What? He's saying that he's going to be the best person that I've ever channeled. And I was like, okay, that's up to you. So he's like, do you think I am? I'm going to shine. This person is so much fun. Who is this? Wait. Got the good looks from me. Interesting. Wait, is this Dad?
Yes.
Shut up. Is it really? Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
You're just grabbing into me.
Oh, it's going to get better because he's going to take. He likes the woman with bigger boobs. This is what he says. He goes like this. He says, he hops in my body because this is how he's controlling. It's almost like I feel him. And I go, what are you doing? And he says, well, I like this place, but I like a woman with bigger. And I was like, okay, whatever. He's talking about not offending me. I was like, you don't offend me at all. He says that when I asked him about you, I was like, who is this? Like girlfriend, wife, daughter, sister, whatever. He says, oh, I got the good looks from me. And I'm like, okay, this is Dad, obviously. He says that, what? You were a shit show, Amy, Dying was a crap show. Why? Hold on. He wishes he's talking about having a standing ovation for his death. So whatever he went out in style. Let's just say that. And we'll have to figure out why. He wishes he could come up and give you a hug. He says that, interesting, he has a gun in his hand, which is weird. He's talking, maybe he shot. Did he used to shoot?
I think so. Maybe when he was young.
Yeah, he's not an active hunter. I can tell you that for sure. He showed me a revolver and he goes, boop, like Yosemite Sam. And I'm like, odd. He says that. He does not like to wear jeans at the end of his life, does not like to wear jeans a whole lot. It's so funny. He's talking about fitting his ass into skinny or tight pants and how like maybe they always fit weird or it feels weird and like he has to wear a belt with them and he doesn't like that. And like, I mean, he can look nice if he wants to. What? He's walking around in my head like this. Hold on. He's in my body. Hold on. I gotta take off my little house shoe that I have on. He's like, he's telling me to stop. He's walking around like that. He's trying to show me something. What is going on with you? His death was quick. It was quick It was fast. It must have been for some reason, or at least the knowledge of him when he's dying was quick. Because he's talking about how. Tell me, what was going on with you, dude? What was going on? He doesn't like to see you cry. He doesn't like to see you cry. He's talking about people watching his body. Weird. Was he hospitalized? He was, wasn't he? Yeah. He's talking about how he is out of his body. His soul is, and he's talking about watching people watch his body and how weird that is. Yeah, that's just
can I say that he was
not. Hold on. Wait. Let me see. Hang on. I want to see if he can describe all of it. This for me is you realizing that your dad is around. Okay.
right.
What? Hold on. I told you so. He's talking about I told you so. So he just said that. So it's like people were telling him shit and he wasn't doing it. And he says, what? Maybe they had him in a comatose state, odd, or something like that. He's talking about how all I do is I hear machines. And I can feel his little hand. I can see the little fatty pads on his hands. I can see his little fingers. I can feel all that. And he's talking about people coming up and doing this and touching this. And he's like, oh my God. And he's talking about his hair is a mess. His hair is a mess. Hold on. What happened with you? Tell me, show me your body. I just want him to go. He keeps talking about, I don't know if he's talking about heart or lungs. Obviously, I think maybe he goes in like cardiac arrest, hardcore or something like that. I don't know. But why? There's something added on top of it. Maybe he should have. There's something I'm not picking up. I can feel it. What? He should have done something. He should have done something and he didn't, or he should have gone through something. He didn't. What happened with you? I don't think he had a chance to understand that he was dead before he was. He's talking about the light of God. Very odd. Whatever this is, it's quick. Yeah. What happened to him? What is that about? What happened? That's what I'm getting.
So he had a stroke. And then he was like, they had him sedated for like 3 weeks. And they brought us in to turn him off. And he woke up that day. And then he lived for months. And then he just died one day right after, like
Boom.
months later. And it was crazy. He told us when he come to that he knew that we was standing there talking to him, and he knew, like, he described the light, and
yes,
it was God.
Yes, the light of God. Oh, how weird. Oh my God. And now, okay, are you ready for? Okay, think about that. He talked about that when he came back, and now his soul is bringing it up while he's. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's odd. He says he was a changed man. I was a changed man. That's what he says. What? He says, I just get my second chance. I got my second chance time around. And, I'm just getting really good at this stuff if I know what you're saying, So he's talked so fast. What? Did he just end up clocking out at home, like dying of cardiac arrest at home? What happened? What was that about? How did the end go?
He died at the hospital.
At the hospital. Okay.
But we had him at home for a little while, but he was in the hospital bed at home.
Okay.
Him and my father-in-law both have pretty similar stories. My
Yeah.
father-in-law died of, like, heart failure, and it was
Oh,
really
fast.
quick. And his
Your
was
dad has opinion. Your dad has opinions about your father-in-law. He says, I said, what about him? He says, oh, you're trying to bring him in when I'm having my time? He's like, I like, he's a good man and all, I guess on some areas. He's like, but he's not taking this from me. And I'm like, oh, okay. What? Weird. Dad. Oh, your father was able, after his stroke, he was able to like kind of make noises and grunts and kind of talk a little bit. Is that a thing? Yeah. He just says, he's talking about, there's a movie called The Revenant or something like that. It's with Leonardo DiCaprio and they're out in the middle of the woods and there's a guy there. I don't remember what his name. I'll have to find it. Hold on. Let me look. And he just showed me an image of him. And he said, this is what happened to me when I had the stroke. I said, how bad were you from the stroke? And he shows me the image of this guy like that. And hold on. Where is it? Man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it to you. That here, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick, and then I want to go back. Oh, where is it at? Oh, I'll find it and I'll email it to you. It's when he has the stroke. Hold on. Yeah, I'll find it for you and I'll send it to you. He just showed me a flash of that. And he's saying like he wasn't down for the count. He was still able to do stuff, but man, it was harder. Man, it was slower. And I said, okay, because some people make a full recovery. He says that, what? You have so much fluid on your legs. You have so much stuff going on with you. What is going on? Stop. He says he shows his little calves, his little legs. He says, my little feet are turning purple, which for me means like we have too much fluid or we have too much pressure. He says that how I was in bad shape, but I knew I was going to the right place. I knew I was going to the good place. Like, what are you doing? I want him to have steaks and barbecue. I want him to have a baked potato. I want him to just, what? What? No, you don't. You couldn't drink anymore. Stop it. A good beer, whatever. He's talking about flipping a burger on a charcoal grill. It's so funny. He's saying that he wants to be with you because he wants to tell you what to do. He says, I'm here for fatherly advice. And I go, okay. He says, I want to be here so I can still like, hey, come on over here, sit down, talk to me. We need to talk. That's who your dad is. What? You were not going to make it to 70. You weren't. You're not even a senior citizen. He was what, maybe 59, maybe 58. How old was he?
53.
He said, and I quote, I said, how old are you? He says, I'm an old man. He says, don't talk to a senior citizen like that. I was like, you're not a freaking senior citizen. And so he puts in his 50s. And I was like, maybe 58. Okay. Did we cremate him? This is what he said. I go, so what? What now? He says, all of this fits in a little box just fine.
That would be.
Just like that. And I quote, and what? Do we not have them in little souvenirs yet? We have them all together in one still?
He's kind of scattered around a little bit.
He's in souvenirs. Oh, okay. He's talking about something, little souvenirs. He says, no, but we got the most of me. And I was like, oh, okay.
I did.
You did. Oh, that's why. Okay, so that's we. Okay, what? Taurus. Weird. What do you mean by Taurus? Hold on. Who's my May person? What's going on with May? What's up with May? What's that?
My daughter was born right after he had his stroke in
May. Okay. Okay.
He-
In May. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, does your daughter talk about seeing him? Has she
Yeah.
talked about that yet? Oh. Hmm. Yeah. What?
Oh gosh.
What?
My daughter talks about seeing and talking to him all the time.
Uh-huh.
My middle
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
We
He says like this.
think he's
Your
very
dad. Oh, she is. She is. But this is what your dad says. I go, so what about the daughter? I said, what? He goes, oh yeah. Oh yeah, they see me. I talk to him. Oh yeah. That's how he says it. That's why I'm like, does your daughter talk about seeing him? Is that a thing? Cause yeah. What? He separates from his body and he says, man, if I could come back, I wouldn't come back looking like that. So he's talking about how next time when he comes back, he would look different. What? Him and your mom were still married?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He says, tell your mom I know she can't live without me.
Oh,
He says, what is that about?
he's mocking her right now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They picked at each other a lot.
Really? Yeah. He says, tell her I know she can't live without me. He says, but like, tell her I love her. Tell her I love her. Like, there's that. Hell, I don't know how we stay together that long. She's my best friend, though. That's what he says. Huh? You miss me. He keeps saying she misses me, though. I know she misses me, though. Stop. That is so wrong to say. He like makes a joke. He says like, come and get you some of that good loving. And he's like joking with her. And he says like, tell her I love her. He's like, I come and I sleep with next to her. Like it's the whole thing. And I'm like, this is your daughter. Stop it.
Hey, they talk like that in front of me.
Really?
They
Yes.
so in love.
Yes. He goes like this. He goes, come and get you some of this good loving. And I'm like, no, you can't say that. Just no. Spirit does do that. He does do that. What? Whatever you want, baby. He loves her. Loves her, loves her. Loves her. What? What? Hold on. Does your mom have dogs sleep in the bed with her? Weird. It's almost like there should be like two dogs. I don't know if they're dead or they're alive. There's like two dogs around somewhere, and I don't know why. And do you have any idea?
We have an old family dog that died a few years ago. And we've always had a lot of animals. They just die on us. So maybe that's
okay. Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like if I have one medium size and one bigger one for some reason, not huge, but just bigger. Yeah. And they're on the bed with mom or they lay with mom. And for me, it doesn't necessarily feel like they're alive.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, we're going to leave that there. So he's talking about your dad, and I quote, says, I can't lay in bed with her that often because these two dogs that are laying in there with her now. So like the dead dogs lay with your mom and what? I can hear him making the bed squeak when he gets up. Like it's a whole thing. And what? He comes up and gives her a kiss on her cheek. He loves your mom. He loves you. He loves your kids. He says, You have a brother? Do you have a brother?
No.
Weird. Who's the male that was around? Or maybe that's your. Oh. What? Weird. Did he really like your significant other then?
Yes.
That's why. Okay. Yeah. He keeps talking about how he says, tell my son. And I was like, okay. And he says, tell him I really like him, or I really miss him, or I really love him. And so I'm like, who is this? So if that's because he likes your significant, that would be his son-in-law. He says that what? They're not going to take your shirt. They're not going to turn it into a flag. He's talking about weird. Did we post it up on the wall? What do we do?
I wear a lot of his stuff right now.
Do you really?
That's why I've got this on, because he always wears pocket t-shirts.
With the pocket t-shirts. Oh, sweet baby. Yeah, he gets his t-shirts and he just puts them up on a wall. He's talking about how big they are though, which is very interesting. Yeah, that's what he says, make a flag out of them. I was like, oh my God, stop. He says he says his fingers are very flexible. He goes like that. He's talking about, he's like in my body. This is so weird. What? Tell me. I can hear him coming down the hallway. Like
Yeah.
that. What? Where? So what do you do now? Interesting. You're always like 16 in his head. You're 16 in his head all the time. He likes to go back to like a simpler time. I mean, he loves where you're at. He loves your kids. He loves everything like that. But he's talking about he says not the drama but the sweetness. He's talking about not the drama but the sweetness. So he's talking about you coming up and he's like sitting on the couch or sitting in the chair. You go up and you give him a kiss. You say stuff like that, like you're there, like you love him. He's talking about I go back to those memories. So that's like your dad's version of heaven. He says, oh yeah. I said, what about us? He says, oh yeah. They're all here. You know, I got him. He's just talking about other members of the family. He says, it's good. It's cool. It's good. He says he has nothing to complain about. He says he like jokes that last step is a doozy. What? I said, what about the father-in-law? He goes, yeah, he's here. He doesn't stay on my side of the tracks though. He's over there. He's over there. I go, okay, good. Maybe we'll get together one day. So he's talking about them. What? Did your dad pass after the father-in-law passed?
Before. A year.
Before.
A year exactly.
Okay. Interesting. He's talking about how your dad says like he wishes, and I think that may have been a joke then. He's talking about how he wishes he could have outlived the father-in-law because he would have been the one that was so important. You know, he would have been the one that was more important. He says that, what? Did the father-in-law make more money than he did?
Maybe.
Yeah. He says, sorry, I'm not rich. That's all your dad says. He like jokes about it. I was like, stop. I was like, you are a hardworking gentleman. He says, he's thrown shade. What? Silver spoon. He loves you. He loves you. Your dad is funny. He's not gone. He's not in a bad place. He's in what we like to call heaven. He was. He says he's a suave looking man in my head. He's so funny. He keeps talking about like Rico Suave, which is like not his thing at all, but he's like changing himself into different things. And you can hear his accent. I can hear he likes where I live. He must have been in the country or been from a country place in a way. Because I just moved out to the middle of nowhere in East Texas, and he's like, I like it out here. I like it out here. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He says that what? Simple.
Yeah.
What? Like that. Go, can you get your oil changed in your car? I'm sorry. Random. What is that about?
I don't check none of that. That was always them.
Him. Oh, this is what he said. He says, now nobody's doing this for you. He says, tell her she needs to go get the oil changed in her car. I go, why? He says, tell her I'm still watching that up here. I was like, okay, I'll let her know. So it would be go and see. Oh, that'd be weird. Email me. Go and see if it needs to be changed. And if it does, please email me. And I want you to just sit there and be like, wow, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Or if it's about to be, please. Because they don't talk about that unless it's a thing. What? Cake. Why are we having a cake? Hold on. That's until the summertime. Who's an August baby?
My aunt, his sister.
Your aunt. His sister is. Okay. He keeps talking about cake, and I go, what about that? And your dad's just going, because your dad would be the person to call and tell people happy birthday. He'd be the person that, like, does that, or he's at least nice. And he keeps talking about happy birthday. And I said, what? He says, like, Leo. For me, that's August. And so, or August. And so he's saying hi to her. He says, you do not play golf. No, you don't. I said, what do you do? And he says, well, I'm going to go over here and play this 18 hole of golf. I was like, you don't play golf though. And he's like, but I'm learning. So like your father is now doing all these other things that he couldn't do in life or didn't have time for. He has to annoy your mother too. Okay. He has to annoy your mother. But your dad loves you to the moon and back all the way through. You're welcome. Hold on. What? What? Can you get weird? Can you get you don't have tattoos though. Can you get like your dad's handwriting or something?
I was planning on it.
Really? Yeah. He did like this. He got his name and he signed it in cursive for some reason. And it's almost like saying like, I love you. It's like something you'd get off a card, like a card. And he goes and he takes that and he puts it like here, or he puts it here like that. And then he says like, that'll do. And he's talking about remembering that.
Yeah.
Okay. So please go do that. So he's with you. He loves you. He hasn't left. And how weird. He talks about watching himself. That blows my mind. That's weird.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. So for right now, honey, do you have... He says, hold on. We have a lot more to talk about. And I'm like, I know, but I have another session I got to go to. He's like, where do you think you're going? I think your dad is going to be with me for a while. So if I get anything else, if I have a weird dream, which I probably will, I'll email you and let you know too. What? He keeps drawing a silver heart over and over and over again. He keeps drawing a silver heart over and over again. What is that about?
My mom has him in a silver heart, his remains. They were so obsessed with each other.
They do. They love each other. They love each other. I said, is there anything else like right there? I go, is there anything else you want to say before I go? And he, in my eyes, this is what it looks like. It's like, and then it's silver. And I was like, oh. And I was like, are you sure? He does it again. Then he does it again. Then he does it again. So yeah, let him know. Let your mom know. Okay.
I will.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you need me or if you have any questions, please ask. I want to let you know that he's okay. He's made it to what we like to call heaven. There's nothing bad about it. And keep praying for him. Keep talking to him. Okay.
Yes.
And if your mom has any questions or if she needs me to, just email me. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you. Thank you for
I
letting me
love
read your
you.
daddy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.